Hey guys, Jeff with Westcott Designs. So earlier, a couple days ago, we had Chloe out here, and a lot of you know from YouTube. She had gotten a tour around the shop and see everything we had going on here, and we went over to the manufacturing. Well, actually, we're in the manufacturing shop. We went over to our CNC shop and kind of showed her the process and how everything's in a temperature-controlled environment to keep the consistency of our parts. So the tolerances are the same, and so we don't have a big variance in measurements and stuff. So now we're back over here in our manufacturing shop, and I'm gonna just kind of show you some of the things that obviously that we at Westcott Designs knows that makes our rock sliders different than a lot of the other companies that are out there. And when I say different, I mean the processes and what we do things to make them for the customers. We do a few extra steps above and beyond what probably most companies do. And I know that for fact from touring other companies and obviously getting other companies' parts here that are raw rock sliders before we ever made our own rock sliders. And that's how a lot of this stuff came about, how we thought, hey, we see how this is done, but let's do this and let's try to do it better for our customers. Does it take more time? Absolutely. Is there more money involved? Absolutely. But at the same time, it's just we want to be able to offer the nicest quality products as possible to our customers. So I'm going to show you a couple things and then show you what it does differently, or what we do differently versus some of the other companies on their rock sliders. So our tubing comes in, we buy it in bundles. We usually go through about 4,000 feet of tubing a week. This is DOM. It has a coating on the top of it, and that is to protect it from when it's sitting on the racks outside, or it's transferred or shipped, to keep it from rusting. What we do then is we take all of our tubing and we run it through a machine and we polish every piece of tube, like from one end to the other. So all this stuff, the tubing comes in at about 20 to 22 feet lengths tubing. So then what we do is we run it at a solid bit into tubing. And then what we do is when we run it through our machine, you can see that it grains everything on it. And that literally takes all the coating off of it, basically makes it a raw piece of metal, steel. And the reason for that is so when we are welding to this, we've got a good surface. There's no oils in this. We're not gonna have to worry about contamination in the weld. A lot of companies, what they do is wherever they're gonna weld, they clean with a grinder around that area that they're going to weld, and then they weld their part around it. The problem is that when you add heat to the material, when these two pieces are butted up to each other and you add the heat, the weld around here, what it does is it pulls those oils into the weld, so it doesn't make as good as strong weld with the oils that get into the contamination of that weld. So what we like to do is obviously everything we clean, even our top plates that we put on, you can see how tight this is all the way around on this tube, and there's no gaps whatsoever on this. This is all done on our tube laser. This is how it comes off the tube laser. Actually, this one hasn't been done yet, but we actually go in and polish the inside of the tubing as well. And the reason we do that is so there isn't any oils that are into the weld from the backside as well. When this thing gets put together like that and we weld it together, it has the same amount of weld for the most part all the way around here. And so for the weight, we know it's consistent. The other is we're not filling any more than we have to fill. And the other thing is that this pressure that's around this tube all the way around, if force is added to this or this is propped up on a rock, it's gonna have just as much force all the way around this tube because it's even as far as the weld goes and as far as the force is pushing on this tube. So it just, for us, it makes our rock sliders a little bit stronger in that area when we're doing that. So the other thing is a lot of these rock sliders, whether someone orders them polished, or I should say clear coat, or they order them raw, whatever, however they order them, they all look like this, unless the only downfall is if this rock slider stays for a while in this state of form without getting any protection over the top, it will start to rust. So a lot of times what we do is we get them over right away to powder coat. The clear coats, they have to go right away because otherwise they will start rusting. And preparation for that, it just cleaning the material, clearing it, oven baking, and then obviously that's our final result on that. But the other thing is I'm gonna show you on our rock sliders, these are our welds. on. This is actually a set of Land Cruiser ones that are getting finished. These are, I'm not sure if they're getting top plates, but you can see our welds. These are our TIG welds. We angle this in the front here for the Land Cruiser to match the body line up underneath, but these are what they look like, all polished tubing. We, on our TIG welds, we weld them not once, but twice on them. And that's just to make sure that it's that much stronger of a weld. On top of that weld, we want it to have a certain look, and that's why we try to, as you call it, stacking dimes here. That's what we've done here in this. We have some very talented people that work here. We're very lucky to have the skills sets that these guys have to offer for our rock sliders. But you know, this is these tubes are all cut to size and spec for us, the way we designed them, and we cut them in our tube laser here. So everything we do as far as process from start to finish, besides manufacturing the tube, we don't manufacture the tubing, but everything we do it in-house, everything. Powder coat, everything. Powder coat is being brought in-house. It's been sourced out. It's been a big problem for delays and getting stuff done for consumers. And we are trying to get away from people have to wait these long wait times. And we're trying to do is get to the point where we can get everything done for our customer in-house from start to finish. Inspection, we literally, like Chloe mentioned in one of the videos, that our rock sliders, when we get them back from powder coat, our guy that inspects them, he actually inspects them with a black light. That's how OCD he is, and that we appreciate that, because when it gets the consumer, we want to make sure that there are no imperfections when they get the rock slider, and that they're getting the high quality stuff that they've ordered and paid for and paid good money for. So we hope that maybe you enjoy these videos, and some other things we'll go into down the road about what we do and why we do it, and to make our products a little bit nicer than some of the other companies that are out there. Again, thanks for watching. Take care.